Good morning, people. Good morning. How you all doing this morning? Yes, this is Spirit Journey. Yes, my voice. Yeah, I have a early morning voice. Boy, oh, my voice sounds very tired. Yes, good morning. I apologize for that. Yes, today this is Spirit Journey, and today is September 30th, 2022, and the time is now about 5:53 a.m. 5:53. And sunrise will come out about at 6:51, around 6:51 p.m. this morning. So yeah, we have like an hour till sunrise. So yeah, this is my favorite part of the day. And yeah, I love it. I love this time of day. It's very relaxing. And yes, my dogs are with me here in bed. You can hear them snoring. Yeah. So, yeah, I woke up earlier today, fell back to sleep, and woke up again. And my mind is like racing. I entitled this live stream, Should I Stay or Should I Go? I'm going to talk about the things to consider if you want to move. And I'm also going to talk about the growing number of those CBD shops near you. Yeah, and now is that cannabis is legal now. Um, I'm still not sure how legal is legal. Um, but yeah, they're selling these weed all over the place. And I had to go out yesterday. You had a meal of something. And yeah, other than that, I stayed indoors. I was tired from the day before. I had to go places. And sometimes when I have to do a lot of errands, um, I take a break the next day after. You know, I'm not a teenager anymore. And you know, your body starts to cry out and say, I need some rest. And so that's what I did. Yeah, I had to go different places the day before yesterday. And I'm exhausted. And my lower back um, feels uncomfortable. So I said, I'm going to just sit, relax all day. But I did go on the internet and try to do the research. And so in part, that's what I'm going to talk about. The things that I watched um, over the internet and to talk about that CBD oil. I'm going to talk about the CBD first. Yeah, as you guys know, in the States, at least in New York, that people are doing marijuana very openly. And when I had to mail off something at the post office, we got a new shop. A new business just popped open near the couple of doors down from the post office. A weed shop. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, they're springing up all over. But who do you really see in those places? Yeah, I mean, wow. And the area is supposed to be promoting, what we call a family-friendly atmosphere. Oh, God. I guess they're going to be promoting that in the family. I don't know. How does it make you feel, people? Do you feel confident that these shops are popping up? I'm cautious about a lot of things, as many of you know, that I mean, I'm old school, and the people that you usually saw doing that, well, it's the same type of people, the same type of people who are selling it in the street. I mean, I wouldn't buy from these individuals. I don't care if they're selling a lettuce. Some people I would not want to buy from. They got the little table. They got the. I mean, I wouldn't trust what they put in it. That's what my concern is. What I mean is if someone grows it themselves, but to buy something like that from someone you don't know, um, I feel that there are things attached to it. Because it's making it so readily available for your consumption or inhale. Why? I mean, I did talk about this before, something like this, but now we got a new shop across the street from where I live. And I feel uneasy about it. I mean, some of the businesses like that, they try to make it look nice. They try to put a little bit, some effort in it, the shop, try to make it look exciting. It must have just sprung up. Yeah, I mean, it's really something because I usually get up early in the morning and I go a different route, when I'm going to um, the park or wherever. And I come back early and I go a different route so I don't have to see some of these places. But I had to mail something and that's when I saw it. Um, so what incentive is there to have this? Yes, if it's a legitimate business, they'll be paying their taxes, giving the system more money. But what is it going to do to the minds of the people? That is my question. Be careful, people. I mean, it's your body, and what you want to do with it is your business alone. Just be careful what you put in your body. And if it's so readily, I mean, I don't know what age people can do that, because, like regular tobacco, don't you have to be 21 years of age for that? Yeah, so I don't know how it works with this this weed out there. Do you still have to be 21 years of age to inhale it since you are smoking it? That I don't know. So if anybody wants to comment on that, whether you still have to be 21 to inhale, let me know. Yeah, and what is it going to do to your child or young adult? I think it's to make you passive. Because again, that weed, the cannabis, is it's an estrogen. That plant it has estrogen in it. That's a female hormone, or it acts like an estrogen, I should say. And it's going to feminize your males. And in New York City, near where I live, you have a lot of young men who are acting very feminine, but out of their mind. I mean, again, uh, your gender preference is your business. But some of these people is going beyond just wanting to dress like something else. It's their behavior, and that is my real issue. Your mind, your mental state. And no, I'm not a psychiatrist. Just an observation that some of the behaviors that their mind seems preoccupied and it seems very destructive. And that I'm wondering whether that stuff they have on the market now, the weed, whether it's contributing to the mental state of these young dudes. Yeah, be careful when things are now legal. Are they treating these substances with? Are they lacing it with something because they want to control you? That is my concern. So now I want to talk about, should I stay or should I go? I've shared a couple of weeks ago, remember, I shared my interest in moving from New York City. I want to move. I feel here it's just getting increasingly dangerous. But as I said, I was doing some more research. Wow. I really, I mean, people be, I mean, even with moving, I mean, when you're moving abroad, I really have to reconsider everything. And I'm putting it out there like this. Um, yes, sometimes people want to say certain things and then they're embarrassed to do an update because of the information. And I don't want to feel embarrassed or anything like that. This is all a growing process for all of us. I do feel that I need to go, but you have like two poisons. Which one do you take, A or B? The consequences for both decisions. If I stay, you'll get to see all those new shops, those smoke shops. You're going to see more people roaming the streets, uh, more illegals, slash undocumented workers, more homelessness, and more potential robberies and stuff like that. Yeah, this is a high crime area. What did I find out yesterday? Um, I did share a couple of days ago. Um, remember the Rwanda, my interest in Rwanda? And I mentioned about the banks and that the bank had made a boo-boo on my account. And they still didn't get back to me. They still didn't get back, and I made sure that I emailed the person's boss, for accountability. I don't want them to later on say, oh, you're supposed to have done this or that. And I reached out several times. And I said, if this is how you're going to handle it, just cancel the whole paperwork. Yeah, they made an error on the paperwork. And it potentially could have sabotaged my attempt when you're going to do like money transfers. And then I found out, because my mind was like racing and I knew something had to be, something that I might have been overlooking. Part of it was the obvious, you have before when you're transferring, you have to make sure that it arrives to its destination before you cut ties here, you know what I mean? Yeah, anytime you're dealing with money, you have to make sure that the infrastructure is set up, that the account, uh, that it's being sent to is working properly, and that where it's coming from, when to cancel that account. And so I knew on a level something about that sequence had to be done correctly. But I think it's like my subconscious awareness, or maybe it's intuition, whatever what it was. My mind was not settled at all. Of course, the obvious, you can't cancel something until it reaches its destination and etc. But my mind was racing, and I knew something that I had to do. And that process got me to make a very important phone call. And that very important phone call was to Treasury Department, or a branch of the Treasury Department. Yep. And I found out from them, um, they said that they do not do international direct deposits to Rwanda. And boy, that just put the brakes on everything. Well, people, you cannot go anywhere without your money. You can't do anything without your wallet, so to speak. That is an essential that I feel, that I wish these fellow YouTubers would really expand upon. How do you do all this stuff, travel, and your money? I mean, yeah, there's this what a lot of what they call digital nomads use. They use this like this third-party app. It's a online banking type of thing. It's not like a physical bank that but it's more electronic. It's designed for the internet world of doing business, and it converts your dollars. It converts the currencies for you. So there is a fee to utilize it. Well, yeah, I did investigate that third-party app, and I went on their website. It's Wise, TransferWise. This is the full name, TransferWise. And well, you better look at that app very closely. Their website. They don't handle all currencies. So if you think you're the digital nomad, I mean, unless you go to one of those traditional European places, they have the major countries that a lot of Americans go to. But what about people who may want to go to certain exotic places? And I still can't figure it out. There's one person who I learned about this app from, who was living in the country that I was to move to. Well, when I checked on the app, I went on the website itself, in addition, and that country was not listed. So I don't know how they're going to do business in a country with a foreign currency to the U.S. How are they handling it? They're getting paid in American dollars, and that country is cash driven. The mass majority of the people use their currency, their cash. So the person has to change the money over from US dollars to that foreign currency. And that app does not convert that money to that currency. So it's like, yeah, I don't know how to interpret that. And if it's something else that they're doing, it would have been great for them to share that important especially if they're there to teach. I don't know. So anyway, learning that information from the Treasury Department, um, man, it couldn't have slapped me in the face any harder. You can't argue with someone about that. It's either they do or they don't. And so even though a couple of months ago is when I contacted them, and they said that they do. And when I called them back earlier this month, because I was just felt very fretted, and I just need, hey, this, I didn't know exactly what help I needed, but I knew that I needed, I needed, something was, I think, just underneath my conscious awareness, but I knew something was urgent. Something was urgent. My intuition, whatever it was, I was desperate. I called them, and when they asked, well, what country do you have in why, that you want to get set up? So I told them, and said, we don't do that country. So what happened? You can't go anywhere if they don't handle international direct deposits, and that's what you live on. And you want that flexibility. What are you supposed to do? So I say, hey, have the money go where it's currently going, and then redirect it to a place that it can go. Then you're talking about bouncing around. Well, when the ball is bouncing and bouncing, it can get, it can shrink and get smaller and smaller with each bounce, if you know what I mean. And it can get lost. Yeah, at first I said, hey, maybe that person has a point. Hey, send it to redirect it somewhere else. But then you got to redirect it. I mean, it's too complicated. So from A to B, and then from B to C. And each time that money bounces, it's going to cost. And you ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Yeah, when your money keeps shrinking, you have less spending power. And a lot of people may go to these countries. I don't know how they do it personally. How they come across. They're all happy. And initially I was happy for them. The cost of living was looked very, very, very favorable. Well, if your money keeps bouncing and bouncing, and again, eventually that money has to be converted into those currencies, and that's going to cost. You may have like work with 50. Think of each time that money bounces and taken away. This means the money being taken away. Think of that as tax. If you have a limited income, you have like a fixed income, and half of that money is going into a type of tax, you have less money to play with. And even though you might be moving to a place where the standard of living may not be as things are at a smaller scale, but it's still, you got to pay. So I started say, okay, you have to use wisdom in what you're doing, and you don't want your money to bounce around, because again, that bounce could bounce the wrong way and it get lost in the translation. So maybe this means, hey, check out other alternative countries that you can move to. So that's just what I did. And I was doing that yesterday and the day before yesterday. And that's where the window really started opening and further realizations. I still have to check it out. I may have to find an, what do you call it, international, what do you call it, a lawyer that handles international, taxes, a tax lawyer. Um, Honey, you don't want to be like Wesley Snipes. I like Wesley Snipes. Now he got screwed. I mean, and he did his taxes. They kind of distort what really happened. He was actually due money, but they didn't like the tax forms that he filled out, and they wanted to use him as an example. See, they don't want. See, some people who are really smart, um, they don't want other people to follow along. So they did what they did to him. And that's just my take on it. But either way, I was looking online. I was watching uh, a video that one of the YouTube travelers was talking about. Yeah, they referred two different websites, and so I was taking a look at it, and I said, well, since I'm not going to be going out today, I want to rest my body because the day before, hey, let me do some research. And so I was taking my time and going through this website about people who want to relocate and relocating to this European country. And that realization, people, and I don't know why they don't seem to talk. I mean, I really have to find out definitively. Well, there's things called taxes. Well, um, I mean, we all know about taxes, but when you move to a foreign country, um, what are the tax liabilities? Now, let's say you're retired. See, so what's not definitive is this your taxes. Well, it was saying that okay, you have your taxation here in the States is about you is tied to your citizenship. If you're a citizen of the United States of America, to my understanding, again, I'm not a tax lawyer, anything like that, but just what it sounded like it was saying. Even if you move abroad, you have to pay the taxes of the U.S. because that is your citizenship. So as a citizen of the United States of America, you have to pay its taxes. So you have to do your taxes. And if you owe money, you have to pay them. Now, some of us, we get, a fixed income. We get paid by the government, and it's sheltered with certain taxes. But when you move overseas, is that money taxable? So what I'm getting at, okay, so let's say you're here in America, but the money that you make is not considered taxable. But is the money when you go overseas, is it taxable there? That is a big question. And according to this chart that I was reading on that country in Europe, and Europe looks the way it does because of its taxes it pays. Yeah, Europeans, Western Europeans pay a lot of taxes. It's almost frightening. And they were paying, well, there was a chart that this website shared that is called a gradual tax, something like that, a gradual tax that it varies according to how much you make. So the more money you make, the more taxes you make. And they had the range of how much you can make. I mean, how much you make and what tax bracket, that's what tax bracket that you're in. And it said in my chart, um, and again, it was in euros. So I have to figure out exactly which one. It's between these two brackets. It either said my bracket is either what's it, 35% or the 45%. 45% bracket. So that's 35 and to 45% bracket. And I don't make a lot of money, but that's what they're saying. So people, if you are on pretty much a fixed income, and the beautiful country in Europe, let's say you go into, that has taxes, how are you going to live? That means you have to say to yourself that you have to put aside from 35 to 45% of your income, whatever check you get, half of it is going for taxes alone. Taxes alone. And then the other half, okay, when you buy items, I think when you go overseas, things cost, has its cost and might have what we call sales tax. You're going to be in the poorhouse, people. You are going to be in the poorhouse. That's that's what that's what I saw yesterday. My mouth dropped again. Yeah, because I was like for the past like 2 3 weeks, I was feeling down because of the first place I was considering. I mean, I was selling my property, my belongings, giving them away, and really, really condensing everything so I can have a clean break. And when that Treasury Department said, "We don't do that country. We don't we don't handle that country," my mouth just dropped. So I was like, felt like the rug was pulled under me. Because again, I did contact them a couple of months ago. Now maybe going on 3 months. And that's why I pursued it. And they can change it. That's what I'm also seeing. When a country doesn't want to see its people leave, its good citizens leave, they can say anything. And so I wanted to be more careful. So I emailed them. See, I can't rely on what they say to me over the phone. They say, oh, you could go here, here, and there, but I want it in writing. So I sent them an email. Hey, just to confirm that you said that these places are open to international direct deposit, and they still didn't get in touch with me. I even called them as well. So people, so this message is very important to you if you're a good citizen, but you might have interest in moving abroad. You have to be careful that you can take your money with you and that the information that you're getting is correct. Is it correct what they told me? The Treasury or branch of the Treasury Department. Is it accurate? They could say anything. They have an outdated list from 2018. It's 2022. And the information they gave me about a week ago was not on that list. So I want to just make sure that, get a copy of that list. They don't want to give me the new list. They said no. So, okay, I don't have to ask for the list, but hey, is this one available? And she's not budging. They are not budging. I just hope that I'm just being overly sensitive and that she'll eventually answer my question. But see, when you write a response to someone's email, then it's a proof, okay? It's then, I can see that the sun is slowly popping up. Nice, about in 20 minutes, the sun would be coming up. Oh, I see that someone's wrote a comment. Let me see here. Yeah, I have my device plugged in, so it's hard to see. Let's see. Oh, I can't even read it. Oh, good morning. Okay, yeah, good morning. Oh, yeah, see how bright it's getting, the sky? You can see the buildings, the outline. But yeah, people, this is very important. See, I like to be real with people. I hope you guys could hear me too. Yeah, accountability of that's the word I was thinking of. It's accountability when someone responds to your email and they have to write an answer down. Then it's accountability that, yes, they did say X, Y, and Z. They said that they do this type of transaction for this place, but not that place. I mean, it was an easy email. Do you do this country or that one? You know, this is all happening for a reason. See, they may not want certain populations to leave for whatever reason. So yes, these fellow YouTubers, they make it look exciting, doesn't it? I was excited for them. I was very, very excited for them because, hey, taking a bold step and wishing them success. Oh, I was excited. I said, wow, hey, I want to try that too. Yeah, because things here is like the wild, wild west. Here in New York City, it's very wild. So I'm really thinking now what to do. So yeah, so when I was doing research, I was looking at this website that a fellow YouTuber recommended for people who want to expat to a particular country. And they had a section on taxes. Now, I don't know whether that, so it's not like income. It's not like I'm working there because I would be a retiree. Yeah, I'm retired. So I don't know whether the money's, there. I mean, it's not like income, but a monthly amount that I get from the government. So is this taxable? Because here, in the U.S., it's not taxable. What I get, non-taxable. But if I go over there, and if it's considered income for that country, I mean, I really have to look. Really. Yeah, I have to get some um, specific information, answers. If what I make would be taxable in that other country, my tax bracket can be either 35% or 45, you heard right, 45% tax. That is a big gouge if you get like a fixed amount, if that's what you live on. Yeah, the country is beautiful. It was gorgeous. And that's how some countries stay beautiful through its taxes, its high taxes. Yeah, taxes pay for infrastructure. So you have nice sidewalks you can walk on, or paved streets that you can walk on, street lights, a water system. Like some places that now, like the place I was going to go to, it's relatively inexpensive. But if you're local there and get paid local money, you're not making anything. But it's still, it has its comforts. So you get, in essence, what you pay for. If you're not paying taxes in these foreign countries, I mean, if they don't have like an income tax in certain countries, there's a reason for that, and they're probably not getting any real services. But when you go to certain places like in Western Europe, honey, you're gonna pay some, you may have to pay some heavy taxes. You have to find out the money, like especially if you're on a fixed income or you're one of those veterans and you get that monthly check, if you know what I mean. And that here in the States is not taxable. Find out, people, whether those checks from the government, if you're a veteran, when you go overseas, you may have to pay taxes on them. I hear that some places there's no, double taxation. Like some countries the U.S. has an agreement with. I don't know which countries they are. You can't, not to pay taxes, income tax from both places. So some of them, I was told that there's an agreement. I have to find out which place has that agreement. I have to find out. People, before you start giving away or selling your belongings to move, you better find out, especially if you're a veteran and you rely on these, your monthly check that is tax-free. But it's not a lot of money either. It's not a lot of money. But when you want to go to these other places, it may be taxable. And so what you thought was affordable, because back in the States it's considered inexpensive, but if you're not paying the same type of tax or no tax, you know, the money you have is free and clean, for your disposal. When you go overseas, that money may be taxable as high as, you know, 35, 45, and even higher. The more money you make, the higher tax bracket. And so what you were able to afford in the States, you may not be able to afford overseas. And that's what was another wake-up call for me yesterday, that I may have to reconsider my plans. And it's hard for me to swallow, but I'm being very honest, people. See, I'm not sugarcoating. My videos are not sugarcoated. They are real. And what might look good to talk about but it may not be feasible. A lot of these people you might be seeing on these YouTube channels to get you all hyped up. And yes, I was very hyped up, but they might be leading you to the slaughter financially. They're what they're having you, see, they want you to pay for their seminars. They're always giving seminars, and they want you to pay money to go, have access to these seminars where they dispense information. You have to find out whether it's in your interest. If they're not really focusing on your financial matters, so you can't go anywhere if your money doesn't go with you. Yeah, you have some real young people, what they call the digital nomads, and they hop around, and they might have an agreement with those other countries. And so you're not technically making money in their country, everything's electronic. You better find out whether the money you make on the internet, whether that's taxable. You have to find out. Because again, when when the honeymoon is over, and some places you have to get a tax ID number. Yeah, that's also what I was reading yesterday, and this website that was referred to me for people who want to go to this particular country in Europe. It's really a tax ID number, so you need that first. I think it's called oh God, I forget the name. But it's in short a tax ID number, and then you get your bank account. And it costs money. Yeah, that's also I was finding out also. Now yes, people can do it by themselves and get the tax ID number and the bank account. Yes, but you need a representative. It was saying you need someone to accompany you, according to the website. I think when they said accompany you, someone, a person who's a resident there, and they have to represent you when you go there on your appointment. It didn't make any sense to me, really. I mean, you just go into a bank, let's say you want to open an account or you want to get a tax ID number, and why do you have to have a representative? That's if you know the language. I get the impression that you have to have a representative. And so you're talking about money. You're talking about money. Yeah, because the person that you bring, they have to, have some knowledge about the process. When you talk about money or what you have to pay, you may need a lawyer, right, to protect yourself. So it's always going to cost. You got to pay the piper. This is the reality I was getting yesterday, as I was reading, the going through this website about relocating to this country, this particular country. Yeah, they gave a lot of information, things to consider. Things to consider if you are locating there. So yes, so you can hire someone to get your tax ID and your bank account. Wow, you can't get around it. I mean, you really can't get away. It's a lot of money. So yeah, also you hear about getting two citizenships. You know, so remember I was saying something about earlier in this live stream um, about taxes here. You have to pay taxes here in the state, income tax. And even though, let's say you're living in Mexico, let's say, just because you're living in Mexico doesn't mean that you don't have to stop paying taxes in America because you still have your citizenship. Your taxation is based on where your citizenship is from, according to um, this article I read. So even though may not be living in America, you are generating income, and that is taxable. Some income is taxable. So what is it? Yeah, thank you, viewer. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Oh yeah, the double citizenship. Now, we have a lot of channels, and yes, I got on the band. I was very excited for them that certain African countries were giving out citizenships if you test, if your genetics show that you have links to that country. You take that African ancestry test. Remember, guys, I took the African ancestry test. I think it was earlier this month or last month. I have to check. But yeah, I did the test. Yeah, I shared it. The test results. Some countries, it's something. They have those particular countries in Africa seem to have an agreement with the African ancestry company that does the DNA to determine your Black heritage, or I should say your African heritage, your tribal linkage. See, like they have an agreement with that company, some African countries, and only through that company, for whatever reason, that's why I presume they have a contract agreement, closed agreement, a monopoly, that through that company alone, and if it pops positive for being in certain African countries, you could apply for citizenship. Isn't that nice? Well, you better find out. If you become a citizen from that other country, I mean, not saying that you're giving up a citizenship, but someplace you can have what they call dual citizenship. Some countries, allow dual citizenship. So if you have a dual citizenship to these new African countries, do you have to pay tax there? Hello, people. Is this another way that some West African nations are going to try to suck out your money? Are they just playing us for fool? I mean, again, I don't have that answer. I don't know. You're paying your taxes here. You're a U.S. citizen here. Then if you get a dual citizenship for another country, and it's a poor country, let's say, I'm wondering whether you have to pay taxes there too. And once you get citizenship, you're stuck with that, and you have to abide by its rules. This is getting very complicated. Is this just a means for poor countries in West Africa to get our Black American US dollars by promising them citizenship and then get money? I mean, I don't know whether that's happening. But you can see the potential that something like that could happen. That is a potential that could happen. You got that citizenship? Oh, and what about military? What about military? Military. If you have citizenship to a particular country and it goes to war, they may say, hey, we're going to call you from abroad. And you're required. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing out these potential concerns. Yes, these YouTube channels that I've been watching for the past year, it's very exciting. You want the best for everybody. And then you want to take the plunge yourself. And then you get a wake-up call, things that you may not have really considered, or reading more information. Say, hey, wait a minute, I have to really ponder this, the implications. Is there double taxation? And you have to respond, you have to do something. Is it worth moving abroad if where you're moving to, you have to pay 35 or 45% of your income? 30, 35, 45%. So you're at a limited income. You have to then consider, okay, let's just go 45%. Almost half. Can you live on half of the money you make? Can you? How are these other people doing it? These places. Only thing I could really say is, I better talk to a lawyer. Because should I stay or should I go is really based on your tax bracket when you go overseas. Your tax bracket. And the life of luxury that they promise you when you watch these videos. Is it real? Taxes are real, people. And you don't want to get in bad with a foreign country. They can say, you know, we're not going to renew your visa. They can do that. They could do that. Yeah, so that's the main scoop for the day. This wake-up call. Yeah, it's very painful, this information for me. It's painful to have hopes, sharing information with people, thinking that you're that much closer, and then a realization about it. I just read that, 35, 45% tax bracket. Could you live off of half of your money if you get a fixed income? Do you want to live off of half of your amount? People, whether it's painful or not for me to say, it might be beneficial for me to stay put. It just might be better to stay here economically. Let me know what you think. If any of you have or internet, what do you call it, tax lawyers, international, you could comment below. How does it work with if you want to move to certain countries in Europe or Mexico? These are popular places where people are going. What about the taxes? If what you make here in the state is not taxable, when you go overseas, is that money now taxable for Europe and Mexico? Let me know. Let me know if you're facing the same dilemma. Let me know also. Each one teach one. So with that, I guess yeah, I'll be signing off. Yeah, sunrise is here. Yeah, good morning, sunrise. Yeah, this is around sunrise right now. Beautiful time of the day. Yeah. Yeah, so let me know what you think and everything, things that people should consider or I'm to consider. Any links regarding this, these taxations? How do you handle this money? You got to bring your money with you when you travel. When you don't have access to your money, it is a very uncomfortable position. So thank you again. This is Spirit Journey signing off. Take care, guys. Bye bye.